Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a speed build of a white country cottage in the world of Newcrest. Newcrest is one of the base game worlds that comes with The Sims 4. This lot is a 40 by 30 and can be found in the neighbourhood of Bridgeview. There are another 3 40 by 30s in this world, but this is the only 40 by 30 in this particular neighbourhood of the world. So this build is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. You could very easily turn it into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath if you wanted to, but with my style of gameplay, I prefer to have a bit of a larger family, so the extra bedroom for me is exactly what I was looking for. I think especially when you're playing with a teen and then either a child or a toddler as the other kid, you really want that separate bedroom because the gameplay aspects of each different age really require different items from the world as well. So, as your teens kind of almost operate as adults in The Sims 4, whereas your kids or toddlers have really specific gameplay items for skill building. So I personally like having the extra bedroom so you can fill it with all those different objects that are required as well. And then with the exterior of this house being a country cottage, I really wanted to include the wraparound deck to go around the entire home and also have quite a large backyard featured as well. Having a large backyard means you can also include, like I mentioned before, a few more of those skill building items, particularly like the play sets and things like that for kids. They're really large in The Sims 4. So if you did want to include one of those in these builds, you do need a bit of space, and really on either side of this house you could definitely include one of the jungle gyms for the kids in The Sims 4. And then here I'm finally getting around to placing that front door. I knew I wanted something quite large with windows here, but what I had in mind versus what was available in that base game catalogue were two very different things, and I did struggle a bit. You can see here I am trying and testing out a few different ones. I ended up landing on this, I guess you'd almost call it a French door, and then match those with these beautiful windows with those white shutters as well. Here I'm just about to start working out the floor plan. So initially I wanted it to be, on one side you have kitchen, dining, that sort of thing, and also wanted a laundry that went straight into the backyard. And then I realized about halfway through the build I couldn't do a laundry because I was doing base game only, so I didn't have access to all those laundry day items in the pack. So there is a bit of fiddling with the floor plan. This isn't the final floor plan, but overall, I'm relatively happy with how it turned out, because I actually had a bit of trouble working out how I wanted the living area to sit. Even though it's a relatively large space, I just couldn't quite balance it. So when I ended up removing the laundry, it actually ended up working a lot better, which was fortunate because I was a bit stressed while I was trying to work that one out. You can see with the little kitchen pop out here, I wanted it to almost have an exposed beam feel, as if it was like the house had been extended out a bit. So I've got the few columns, the half walls there, and I think that came together quite nicely. It's not a big kitchen, but it's not the point of it. It's because of the house that it is, and I wanted it to be a gameplay house where you have generations and things in it. I think it came together quite nicely. Maybe now with the update that you can do the cooking with the kids and other Sims, you might want a bit of a bigger kitchen, but if you were to download this, you could definitely extend it out. That wouldn't be a problem at all. So with the outside of the house, I decided to go with a white weatherboard style. I thought that was really quintessential to the country style that I think of when I think of country homes, and that in particularly rural Victoria. And then on the inside with the wallpapers and things like that, I was just trying to balance it where it didn't look like a particularly old home, maybe something that was, built in the last 40, 50 years rather than something that had been in a town that was, over 100 years old. So, you can see me kind of going through here, trying to just work out which wallpapers do I want to use. Do I want exposed wood or timber on any of the walls and all that sort of thing? I did leave in a lot of those choices in the decision making that I was making throughout the entire build in here, just because sometimes it doesn't go as smoothly as it looks when you have a video. So I was swapping back and forth here quite a lot, trying to keep it a little bit dated to show just the style of the home, but also not incredibly traditional where it doesn't fit in the home as well. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how I was thinking of it anyway. And then throughout I went for these lighter style wood floors because, like I mentioned before, I did want to keep the house generally quite light and airy and that sort of mood as well. And then I went for the timber on the wraparound veranda as well. For the roof, I always opt for a darker roof, and that's exactly what I've done here. You can see me testing it in a different lighting to make sure it was definitely what I was happy with. When it comes to roofing, I'm not super into the lighter roofs in The Sims. I definitely like those really dark style and colours in the roofing. It's just more my thing, and definitely biased in my builds. I tend to use them all the time. But yeah, so now I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to furnish the build. I started with a kitchen. I was actually really excited about this kitchen. I don't normally do a small kitchen, but there was just something about this house where I was excited by the fact that it was just a bit different to what I normally do with how, it had the half walls and it was really, a lot smaller than what I go for, but I really enjoyed it. I think it actually came together quite cute. It's quite quaint, and I can see a large family in this house, just in this full living area. Some watching TV, doing your homework at the dining table, cooking, all those sorts of things, which is exactly what I had in mind for the style of gameplay that I think I will use in this home. And then I was putting the fireplaces in. I think, like I mentioned in my last video, I kind of struggled with the styles of fireplaces again because of the base game. I didn't realize quite how limited we were with them. Really, there's one or two options because the other options that show up on my screen are my CC options. So I'm not using those because I want it to be a base game only build. But I think that's something I would love to see more of in The Sims 4 is fireplace options. I mean, I really like using them in my builds. It's a great way when you have a particularly large build to, include a really nice seated area. But then also in smaller builds, just to give that coziness. I love using the fireplaces, but I'd love to see some more options within base game. I mean, the fireplaces I tend to gravitate to outside of base game would definitely be the cats and dogs ones. I think they're beautiful. I mean, I really love the cats and dogs expansion in general. I think Brindleton Bay is a beautiful world. It's probably, easily my favorite world. I really, really wanted the the extension of having pets in the game as well. I love having pets in my game. It just makes it really realistic for me, and it's something I've enjoyed in all of the Sims games that I've played. But I think there's some things like that, like fireplaces, that I would just love to see a few more of. We have quite a few options for some things, and then others are, in my opinion, really lacking. But I guess everyone is always looking for something different in the games, and I guess they have to work out how to balance all of those options with everyone as well. In saying that though, I think some of the recent packs that have come out from the Sims 4 team have been really great and really up my alley. I mean, I only recently got the paranormal stuff pack, and I haven't had a chance to play with the actual gameplay part of it yet. But like, I love the furniture. I think the couch and the armchair are probably two of my favorite pieces in the whole game. And I don't have Cottage living yet, so I can't make a comment on that one, but I know it's something that everyone has kind of been wanting for a really long time. So I think it's in the right track. I really enjoy Snowy Escape. I love that Japanese style world. I love that it's a bit more just to do with your Sims, and I like that it introduced being able to have vacation lots in the non-vacation world, and like the expansion of the gameplay there. So like, I might not think we have enough fireplaces, but then in other aspects I'm really, really happy to see what's been happening with the game as well, because I must say early in The Sims 4 I wasn't a fan, being someone who's played The Sims I've played every Sims. I started when I was a little kid playing Sims 1, and I followed the game through all the way through to Sims 4, and after Sims 3 I really struggled to enjoy The Sims 4 to begin with. Obviously there are really common things that people were disappointed with, and that were missing, but then other people really enjoyed them, and I remember chatting with my friends about it, and everyone had a different opinion on it. So I've been really excited to see where it's come in the last couple of years, because I definitely think the game is really, really improved and is something that I'm actually really enjoying now. So, if it keeps going in the way it is in terms of the expansions and the game packs and the gameplay, and the recent update with all the new swatches, I'm really excited to see where it's going. So, here, so I just finished the living room part. I'll call it part A because it changes again once I remove the laundry, and I've moved into this entry room now. Because it's more of a traditional style home, I wanted to have a bit more of a formal entry, but then also it was too big to just leave a bit bare, so I ended up deciding to turn it into not really like a home office, but somewhere that I could put a computer as well, because I didn't have a dedicated home office in this build, and I thought when you have multiple Sims in the home, you probably want the computer to be in a bit more of a centralized place. At least that's what I do when I'm playing. It's just a bit easier to keep track of them all, because I imagine in this sort of sized home I'd probably have 5 or 6 Sims, so it can get a bit chaotic sometimes, and you want to know where to find them all really easily. So here you can see I've just taken out the laundry and I've moved things around a little bit, and I think it came together a lot nicer. I got a bit more of a formal sitting area with the fireplace, and then the TV sitting area, and I got the dining table back to being alongside the kitchen. I really wanted it placed there originally, I just couldn't make it work, and then we came a full circle, and I got there. But then with this one thing that I noticed, I couldn't quite get the green swatches to match on this base game couch, and I thought they were meant to be armchairs to the sofa, and didn't work. So I just went for I think I ended up leaving them these colours, and there's 2 different colours. I actually quite like the green and like that brown orange colour. So I think it'll work together nicely. It just looks a bit more like a realistic home, where you have pieces that you've collected over the years. So this is the main bathroom, the only bathroom in the build. I was able to fit a shower and a tub. So I think I was able to make the most of the space here, which I was really happy with. I needed to include a bathtub because I was building this game for a family, and with toddlers and things like that, so the bath needs to be available. But I didn't want one of the shower tubs, so ended up working out, and I was quite happy. And I also enjoyed that I was able to make it work where the master room could also have direct access to the bathroom as well. You can see I extended the master out a little bit there, because I realized I made it just a bit too short, where you wouldn't be able to access both sides of the bed. I wasn't super happy with the master. I wasn't very inspired with how I wanted it to lay out. And yeah, I was really excited to do the outside of those main living areas of this home rather than the bedroom. So I kind of just put in what I needed to and called it a day. When it came to these ones, I still tried to keep the really light woods and that sort of thing throughout, but nothing particularly special in here. I'm looking forward in the next couple of videos that I'm doing where I'm using a few more packs than base game to jazz up the bedrooms a bit more, because I don't really like the bedroom furniture in base game, if I'm being completely honest. I don't really like many of the beds. They're not really my style, so I really struggle to use them, which I know it's a bit silly, but just how it is. But then, when I look at the toddler bed that I've chosen there, it's so similar to the double bed, but I just think it's so cute as a toddler bed. But then maybe it's the swatches. I think I made this video before the swatch update, so there potentially is new swatches on these beds that I haven't been able to use for this video, but that's fine. And then for this bedroom, I set it up as a kid's bedroom, but it could very easily be a teen's bedroom. You could have 2 bunk beds and really make this like a family home where you max out the Sims. That would be a bit more of a challenge. I don't want 5 kids in my families, because that is a bit of a disaster sometimes for me. But you easily could fill these rooms up a bit more if you wanted to. And then here I'm adding in that computer, just trying to add in the final touches for the inside of the house before we move to the exterior. And here, so I use the landscaping tool where I can use the paint for the tiles. I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to the outside of my builds, I prefer to use that, I guess we call it the paint tool, rather than actual tiles. I like how it's a bit imperfect rather than an exact square. But if anyone has any tips on how to do pathways and make them a bit more exciting, I'm all ears. I would love to. Landscaping is something I really want to improve on. I think I have been getting better at it, but I do still find it a bit difficult. So if anyone has any tips or tricks or channels I should look at to try and improve those skills, please let me know. It's something I would love to improve on. And then at the back here, you can see that we're getting to that end part of the build where I'm just putting a few furnishings outside, just trying to finish it off to make sure that there are activities for the family to do outside as well, like the gardening. The kids have playground. I end up putting a chess table, and a few bits and pieces around, to make the most of the gameplay here as well. So with the front yard, I ended up just going and trying to keep it a bit simple. Being such a big lot, I didn't want to overfill it either. But like I said, we're getting to the end of the build here. Just a few more little things, and then we will jump into the game, and I'll do a walkthrough of the floor plan so you can see how it all came together in the end. So here is the final build. I love it. I think it is so cute. I was really happy with how the wraparound veranda came together. You can see I've put some Sims in to, check out the house and that sort of thing. So this is how the living area finished. I was really happy with it all together. And there's plenty of room there for the computer as well, which I was a bit concerned about when I put it in. I thought maybe it'd be a bit cramped, but it actually works perfectly fine. So I was super duper happy with that. And then here you can see the bathroom all together as well. I mean, you know what? If you actually lived in this house, there is a lot of space for only one bathroom. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so now we're just going back through that main hallway, which you could definitely furnish with a bit more once you have actual Sims in the game as well. And then this is the backyard. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and leave some comments down below of what you'd like to see next time. Thanks.